there is this guy. His name is Siggy. And Siggy is troubling with learning something new for ages because he can't really focus on things. He has issues with understanding these. He has issues also with his self-beliefs. And there's this other guy. He's Mark. Mark is cool. Mark has just found focus. Mark has overcome the obstacles very fast, and he was capable of doing the small things, and that's exactly where it becomes interesting. In my story, it's kind of interesting. Imagine this: you're sitting on an optometrist while you're making an eye test, and that's exactly what I do every day. Actually, I'm making eye tests for people, and one very interesting thing is they read the numbers on the screen, and I make to find out the correction I need to make the test. And it's very important to have the smallest numbers which my customers are capable of reading. So this means I have to make them smaller until they are crying. Basically, that's the thing what we do. And when they are reading out loud, there are 5 numbers, and when they read the 5 numbers, they just sometimes they say something like when it gets too small, they're like, no, I can read it, just very fastly, just a straight no, I cannot. And the funny thing is, if you wait a second or 2 or 3, they start reading it, and they make it in, I would say, 70 to 80% make it right. Interestingly, when they just say abrupt no, it's most times it's right what they say. Well, basically, when you get this experience and this thing a little bit further, then happens one interesting thing. If the people are like no, and they struggling and they don't want to read it, then the one interesting thing I do, which just changed my capabilities to got them to another level, was just asking them for a specific number. So when they say no, and I say, please tell me what's the second last number, and they're like 3, and I'm like, perfect, it's right. In 92 or more percent of the tries, it's right. Okay, and then the second number, and they're like, it's 5. Okay, perfect. In the middle, it's could be 8. Perfect. And the thing is, or the thing that just I had learned, what's really interesting on any journey is just to split the things you have to do in some parts. It means just like if you learn something and you want to achieve success on it, just try to learn on small steps. One example, if you learn, for example, pool billiards, to play billiards, then basically I have to tell you this is kind of like very professional point of view, because I was playing pool billiards for ages. But however, the thing is, when you want to become a professional player, then you learn kind of like the mechanisms behind your movements. Means you have to train how to hit the ball on the perfect point, which is a question of millimeters. This means you have to be accurate as fuck. Means also that you have to focus and to get the movement right. And basically, how can you learn movement? Yeah, you have to fucking move your ass. That's just like movement work does. Yes. And basically, as longer as I had done this, the more successful I become with doing the things I had done. And I put extremely effort in it, extreme effort. I was playing one kind of ball. It was just a straight ball, just like, let me guess, weighed more than 1,000 times. There was a white line on the pool billiard table, and my colleagues were asking me, "What the fuck had you done? Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm serious in becoming good. That's what you want, and that's what I fucking want. So I'm going to get fucking good with fucking doing the work, the hard work." Yes, exactly. Let's do the hard work first. That's the one thing. And the second thing is just get your ass up on the small things. All the things which may obviously doesn't change a huge thing or seem for the people standing around a little bit crazy that you do 1,000 times this one ball, but this one ball is just life changing and a key of success to get to another level. And just like the people in my room, when they recognize numbers on the screen, and when you give them the small parts, that's the tricky thing. You have to find out the small steps and the small things on your own to achieve success in your journey and in your things. Basically, if you want to learn a language, then possibly, and that's another interesting thing. Some things are not enjoyable, especially when it comes to learn languages. For example, if you want to learn a language, then you have to use it. In my personal opinion, some are like, no, you have to wait until you feel ready to use it. But however, I get drift away. However, if you want something, take it into smaller steps. Find something you can do always to raise your capabilities. Here in the background, you can possibly see escape your fate. Yeah, your fate if you don't put effort in the small things and don't take care about it. It's just to get the result of not achieving a bullshit. And if you get some effort in the small things, and that's also an interesting thing here. I was just on learning hand lettering for now I'm doing hand lettering for 12 years, kind of like calligraphy, stuff like this. And I became quite good at it, though. Yes, I became quite well. And one very interesting thing is basically it's kind of like the strokes are very meaningful that you do. And just to make, I don't know, circles seems to be silly and crazy and not really bright, wonderful. And that's also don't have to be at least in this case, doesn't have to be the breaking point. Means if you do want to learn hand lettering, then you just take a paper. If you want to learn hand lettering, you just take a paper and you just make strokes. You just write something and try to make all the strokes you make down, just make them a little bit thicker than the others. That's just literally how I had started my journey. So I was writing something like hello, and then I just write everything I make down a little bit thicker than the other strokes. That's basically everything what's hand lettering is. Okay. I hear experts yelling at me, but if you know the 20-80 rule or the 80-20 rule, however, this is exactly the 80%. That's exactly the 80%. The other 20% is flourishing and other stuff that gets a little bit deeper into the topic. However, focus on the small steps. Do not the hard work always. In the pool billiard thing, it might pay off as hell if you want to become a fucking professional. Everything else is random. There is no real really crazy well trick to learn pool billiards on a really fast track. At least in one thing, you have to understand when to give up. It's crazy. That's stuff for another video. However, great. Take your steps take your steps and learn to do things and cut them apart into smaller steps. That's just the thing how it should go to get the super mark. Okay, perfect.